Okay, so with that, I'm going to introduce, a lot of you have heard Mr. Fraser's story, but he is just a wonderful leader in our industry. He's really making a lot of money and helping a lot of people, guys, so we really, really appreciate him. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. John Fraser.
Gotta do a little technical switcheroo. Okay. I think I actually need one of my own sheets here. Okay, I got it. What I'm going to be talking about in this business is, about the business right now, is about activity. And if you've been in the business for just a short period of time, or if you've been in the business for a long period of time, and you're wondering why your business isn't growing or isn't moving forward as fast as you could make it move forward, it really all comes down to activity and exposures. Okay, and that's when I came back into prepaid. I mean, my background, real quick, is I started in business in the around 1999-2000 time frame. Did it for about 2.5 years, part time, 5 to 7 hours a week, while I was running my own job. And I had my own company as a Nextel dealership on the East Coast. And long story short, sold that business, came back to Tulsa, went through divorce, and my mind wasn't in the right place to be taking time to build prepaid when I came back to Tulsa. Didn't do anything with the business for over 5 years, until about April of this year. But what ended up happening is that the business that I got started in the first couple of years grew and developed and matured to the point where when I got laid off in April of this year, between April and now, last time I looked, it was about $25,000 in income in the last 6-7 months. Because I had a business that got established and built by the people that kept moving forward. Okay? So, how many in here have been in either one or more network marketing companies in the past? Okay? And how many of you had success with it? Okay, or did not have success with it? Okay? And people always wonder, in any business out there, how do you do it? Okay? If anybody's heard of the Amway business or the Quick Start business, there's a gentleman by the name of Bill and Peggy Britt. Okay. So Bill Britt, there's a reporter that came up to Bill Britt in North Carolina and said, Mr. Britt, obviously, this is one of your 7 or 8 homes. You're doing, fantastic with the business. Could you tell me what your secret is? What is the secret to building this business? And what Mr. Britt said to the reporter was, you know what? There is no secret. As I can tell you, the numbers don't change from business to business. It was the same deal with my Nextel business. It's the same deal in prepaid. The numbers will always be about the same. Okay? So, let's go look at a different model here. Mr. Brian Carruthers. Brian Carruthers has basically, a couple of huge, okay? And Brian's philosophy is you're going to have a bunch of people that are not going to do anything in your business. How many people here have a whole bunch of people or a few people in your business doing absolutely nothing? Yeah. Good, you're in the right place. That's exactly what you're supposed to have. Don't feel bad, that's the way it is. Okay? Now, how many of you all have some people that do just a little bit from time to time? Wow, that's exactly what you're supposed to have. Okay? And then you're going to have a few people that do a lot. Now, let me show you something. I recruited 12 people over my first 2 years. Mark Smith happens to be one of those people that came into our organization. Okay? Mark, I did not recruit. The people that grow and have become huge in business are probably not going to be anybody that you have brought in yourself. Mark is 11 deep for me. Okay? And that's providing 80% of my income right now. Okay? So how'd you guys like to have 80% of your income coming from the efforts of other people that you don't even know?
Yeah.
How'd you like to show up to a business briefing and not even know that a good percentage of the people in the room are on your team?
Yeah.
And they don't even know that they're upline.
Yeah.
That's when you have a strong business. Okay? If you know everybody on your team, it's not. You want your business to grow away from you to the point where you don't know everybody. Okay? Now, guys, this is all about exposure. It's a numbers game. Now, this is These documents, if you notice up top, Mr. Eddie Sturgis, who's the regional vice president of the state of Oklahoma, put this together. And these are just the highlights of basically talking about how you expose in this business. Now, very first thing, number one, how to win through exposure. In network marketing, everything here is purely a numbers game. Okay? The one that exposes the most amount of people wins. Period. Okay? Those who expose the most make the most. Now, if you find that you're spending more than a few minutes with every person, if you're sitting down 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, trying to convince someone, you are an amateur in this business. When you switch to sorting, you don't care whether they get in or whether they don't get in. Okay? Here's the information. Tell me if you're ready to go or not. It doesn't matter to me which way. Just let me know. Okay? It took me until when I got restarted back to the business since April of this year, 2 months ago. It took me about 5 months to realize I was convincing people to get started. Let me tell you, all the people I got started that I convinced, they're not doing anything. Okay? Man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Okay? So you want the people that see the information and they want to come with you. We talked about in our core training that by the end of the first year, you should have about 5 people. If you look over your shoulder, they should be following you, right? Everybody remembers that from training? Okay? Been about 6 months since I've been back in the business. I got about 2.5 people that are following me. Whether I don't have to call them, I don't have to tell them about a meeting, they show up. So am I on track?
Yes.
Okay, about 2.5, half the year. So if through all the activity you're doing, if you look back every 2 to 3 months, you've got 1 to 2 people or so that start to follow you, you're on the right track. So don't feel bad about all the other ones that don't. Okay? Sheer numbers will overcome any lack of skill that you may have. Third party beats first party, first party 100% of the time. What is first party? It's our own mouth. Okay? It's us trying to talk to somebody and convincing someone. Okay? I found that my recruiting percentages went incredibly high when I started doing 3-way calls with other people on the team. Mr. Louette, Mrs. Davis back there, Rebecca, even people in your downline. As long as they know how to do a 3-way call that we were just practicing, you can use anyone in your team. It doesn't have to be, a ring earner or anything like that. Okay? New blood is the lifeblood of your business. It brings you everything that you need. Number 2, make up your mind that you're going to commit to this process. Prepare to be third-party tool intensive. Guys, if you're going to be using third-party tools, you need to listen to them and watch them and understand where and what the information is in those. Okay? If you're going to be using DVDs, what do you think you need to have on hand? DVDs. If you're going to be using membership videos, if you want to lead with the membership versus the opportunity, who knows what DVD you need to have to lead with the membership?
Secret tab.
Okay, do you know?
No.
Do you know?
Yeah.
How about equal access? So if you want to lead with the membership, something just talks about the product, because we get money, we make money when we sell the product, equal access. Order some. We have some here. Okay? Know about tools. If you don't know what tools are available, go to, it's actually on the sheet here, it'll be on the second page. It's basically Video Plus. Video Plus you have tons of tools that are out there available for you to get right now. Make sure you got those. You can do a lot of free things, like websites and the sizzle calls, things like that. I've got a lot of that information on the next page in just a minute. Don't go there yet, we'll get there in a second. Number 3, be faithful to always follow up with your prospects within 24 hours after they've received the tool. I have a modification to that. Follow up with someone as fast as you can. If you can get them on a 3-minute sizzle call and call them back in 5 minutes, what did you like best about what you heard? You will drive your business activity and move your business forward faster. Okay? Why wait a day to find out on a 3-minute call if you've liked it or didn't? Why don't you call them back in 5 minutes? Okay? And if it's a 15-minute call, call them back in 20 minutes. I usually tell them, if it's at 5 o'clock and they're going to watch a 15-minute video and they commit to watching it right there on the spot or listen to a sizzle call, I say I'm going to call you back at 5:17. I'll give you an extra minute to get off the call. 5:17. It just kind of shifts their brain, because when somebody says 5:20, they think 5:30-ish. Well, when I say 5:17, you make sure you call them at 5:17. Okay? I get distracted with a lot of stuff, so I put a timer on my desk and I set it for 17 minutes and I hit start. When it bleeps, I go, what was that all about? Oh, I got to call somebody back. Okay? So, Understand it's your job to expose, not to determine the outcome. You have no control over what somebody says on the other end. Your only job is to expose. And when you realize that, I mean, the whole pressure is off you. All you got to do is just tell people about the information. Now, you're telling them about where the information is. You're not telling them about prepaid legal. I don't even mention the word prepaid legal in most of my conversations. I get them very, very excited about whatever tool I'm going to be getting them to. Okay? If you have been in the business for a little while and you haven't made a list, create a brand new prospect list. You probably met more people than you've had in the last month, and in the last 2 months or so, rewrite a brand new list. Go find your business cards of people you've talked to already. And then, number 6, this is huge. If you have anyone calling you up in your team and saying, gosh, I'm talking to all these people, and I got these 5 or 8 or 10 people that I just talked to, and you're not having any success. What did Patrick Shaw say last night if you were here? Fax me your tracking sheet. Guess what? There's a tracking sheet that I handed you. That's on successdocuments.com. That's what I use with our team. If you are on my team, for example, and you're saying, hey, I'm talking to 8 or 10 people, I'm like, great. What were their names? And then you start getting the silence on the other side of the phone. Okay? Every week you take inventory of what's happening with the sheets and the activity on your team. If they're saying they're talking to 2 people a day, it's really important to follow up with that. The tracking sheet allows you to take all your names and numbers from different places, put it together, and you just put them in a notebook so you got all your people in one place. Okay? Don't expect what you don't inspect, which is that tracking sheet. If you are not reviewing tracking sheets and working with your team about that, you're not really driving the activity in your business, and your business isn't going to grow as fast as it could. Because everybody lies, even we lie to ourselves. When you think about getting your 2 prospects or two contacts a day. Next thing, be prepared at the time of follow-up. What if somebody says, you know what, I can't come to that business briefing on Thursday because I got something going on, or I got kids in events all week? Well, what do? You have to be prepared with your upline or whoever you're working with to be able to switch into, well, great, could I meet you tomorrow for lunch? Could I meet you tomorrow, right after work or before work for breakfast? And you go do a sit-down, a 2-on-1, or something with your upline expert. Now, if you can't get your upline expert, they're out of town, you got a DVD, you got a laptop, or something, get out there and sit in front of them and say, look, I want to show you something, take about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to answer any questions afterwards. And then when you answer the questions, you get an upline on the phone. And let them answer the questions. Okay? Understand this is going to be a boil-down process. I'm going to cover that here on the second sheet in just a minute. The number of people that you initially expose will boil down to a certain number that are interested, which will boil down to a certain number that want to be customers, which will boil down to a certain number that want to be associates, which will boil down to a number that will be players, which will boil down to another number that will be leaders, which will boil down to another number that want to be directors, which will boil down to another number that want to be executive directors, which will give you total and complete financial freedom. But if you can't cook, you'll never start the process of exposures. You've got to put people into the pot. I just call them it's a waterfall process, okay? And then launch your campaign. Anybody can do something for a short period of time. All-out massive action, 90 days. Make a game plan from right after the convention for 90 days, and then reset your goals and do another 90-day push. Okay? And use these steps along with everything that you already do, not instead of. Add this into everything that you're doing. All right. Now, what I want to do here is show you an idea of the numbers that are required to build your business. That'll work.
I think I saw an arrow in the middle of it. Press play. I think it's kind of buried.
Hold on. Go back to it for a second.
Look down to the line.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in for sure.
Good to see it.
Or is that?
Hold on. All right. Ready? Go.
And so it starts off with like you run for 60 seconds, walk for 90, run for 60 seconds, walk for 90. That's the first week. That's tough. And y'all laugh and try. And we did it. But as I was reading about this guy, this guy named Bill Bell. He was 72 years old. He ran the Ironman. People paid to run the Ironman. I prospects to get one.
Okay, we're right about.
I was walking with people in train yesterday, and someone said, "I heard you on stage statement. Workers going for director."
Okay, this is about a 2-minute clip.
Well, how did you do it? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a numbers game. I remember Woody giving us this formula a long time ago, and he said, if you want to go executive director, it takes 2 workers going for director to get 1 person go director. He says it takes 5 associates to create that 1 worker. It takes 5 presentations to get that 1 recruit. It takes 5 prospects to get 1 presentation. So think about that. If you want to build 3 directors, you'd have to have 6 people going for director. Right? That's a simple formula. Because it takes 2 workers to produce 1. You need 6 people going for it. But in order to get 6 people going for it, to train 6 workers, you got to recruit 30 people. So we go, And then, but here's the thing, to recruit 30 people, you got to do at least 150 presentations. And then the other thing is, so then how many people do you have to prospect to get 150 people to sit down with you and take a look? Right? That's about 750. Now you go, I don't know, 750 people. We're not talking about doing it next month. What if you gave yourself a year to do it? Divide that number by 12. 750 by 12 is like 62 a month. Divided by 4 weeks, it's like 14 a week. Divided by 7 days is only 2 a day. So I encourage you. I do this every time I travel around. I do Super Saturday. I always do my Super Saturdays kind of Q&A. This is the one thing I always do. If you recruited at least 1 person, personally, I don't care if you place it or not, but if you personally recruit.
Okay, so what'd you guys get out of that?
2 a day.
2 a day. What do we talk about in our 10 core commitments?
2 a day.
There's a reason for that, guys. Okay, it's very, very important. And you've also seen in the 10 core commitments to be here a year from now. Well, if you're here a year from now doing 2 contacts a day, don't you think you'll be making some money in the business?
Yes.
Okay? That's exactly the reason why. Here's the 10 and play sheet. You've got one in front of you. Self-explanatory. Put your name and your contacts here. Your phone number's here. Just make a note of where you met them, that person at a coffee shop. Write enough information in the notes field so you know when you call the person back, they're going, who is this person you're calling? Say, hey Joe, this is John. I met you at the coffee shop at Woodland Hills Mall the other day, and I told you I was going to call you in a couple of days to talk to you about business. Okay? So, here's the stair-step formula for the waterfall. What we found is the total number of exposures is going to be much greater than the amount of people that you actually either sign up in your business or become associates or become members. Okay? So in this example, if you want 3 members to come out at one end, or you want 10 membership sales, you have to have at least 18 qualified presentations. Now this number will vary based on your skill level. As you get better, your numbers get better. In the beginning, your numbers are really bad. It's okay. You should get at least 1 person out of 10. 2 people out of 10 of people you have to do a presentation with. Okay? And a presentation is any of the third-party tools that do that for you. Okay? So, 50 exposures should whittle down to about 3 recruits. And you should have about 10 memberships out of that. Okay, on the next page there, you've got some resources. Now, I've just put down basically some phone numbers. PCC. If you can't do a private business perception, or somebody won't do one, or you can't get somebody to your house, you can get them to one of those conference call numbers. These are the different numbers I use. The number on the right in parenthesis is how long the call is. Don't put somebody on that call until you listen to it. The other thing you want to match up is their personality style. If you got somebody that's a really high energy level on one of the calls, don't put somebody who's really slow and low energy on a high energy call. Blow them out of the water and go. They'll say, that guy talks so fast, he must have been a salesman or something. Okay? Don't put somebody who is, really fast talker, okay, that you're talking to, on a low energy call. They'll be like, man, that is so boring. That's the worst thing I've ever seen. Okay? So match up the energy. Now, I like this other one. I've just found these out there. There's a really good membership overview call on that number right there. And then if you have anybody that speaks Spanish, there's some Spanish sizzle calls as well that I found. Now these are the things I'm doing. I get people to phone overviews or private conference calls, sizzle calls, whatever you want to call it. I get people to DVDs. I don't use magazines a whole lot because honestly it costs a lot more than handing out a business card with my website on it. So I use primarily web overviews and private conference calls because they're fast, I can do them, and I don't have to mail anything and wait for them to get it. If you've ever mailed a package to somebody, the biggest thing you got to do is then track them down, then get them to listen to it, and then they don't, and then you wasted your money and your time. So if I've got somebody in a different state, I can get them to Great Work Plan, which is a corporate approved website, okay, which you can get for free. You can go right there, and it basically does the blast off prepaid presentation for you, which we've shown last month and a half. Okay, and then you got, by the way, you guys have the now more than ever video on your blast off site. If you just go sign up, ppl.blastoff, it's on your page there. Put in your user ID, and you can go to the video section, opportunity section, and just say, hey, go to my blast off site and go check out my opportunity video. It's amazing. Okay, and that'll pitch on prepaid. Now, Build Lasting Success is another authorized vendor. And the other thing you can do is, there's some additional training. GoTeamFreedom.com. If you haven't gone to those sites to get through your training, go do that. Success documents I've given to you before. Brian Crothers has SlideEdgeWealth.com. Some of the other leaders here use PPL World and Team Pacesetters. Patrick Shaw, who came the other night, that's basically their training systems. Okay. In the Team Pacesetters, if you want to learn how to sit down with somebody, if you don't have a DVD, don't have a computer, and you want to sit down and do a brochure presentation, they have an audio-video training that teaches you how to use their flipbook. You can buy a flipbook for $20 at buyaflipbook.com. And the Team Pacesetter site will teach you how to sell the membership if that's what you're interested in doing. Okay? Books to read. Guys, the couple of best books that I've read so far here recently getting back in the business was sitting on my shelf for years. I pulled it off the shelf, and I was beating my head against the wall trying to talk to people because I was trying to convince people. Okay? Read the book and realized, I was doing exactly all the stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. Okay? So Pathway to Platinum, there's 2 books, volume 1 and 2. Success in Prepaid Legal, Think and Grow Rich, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Prepaid Legal Story, and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then a lot of the videos you're seeing reported here, a lot of the trainings that I go to and that the team goes through, leadership events, you can go right to the website right there on the bottom. There's like 35 or 40 videos. This training and Patrick Shaw's training, all that stuff will be on there that you can go and point people to. Okay? Now, what do I say? Let me go back for 1 second. Last thing here. Basically, what do I say when I'm talking to someone when I'm out and about? Okay? And it's not on your sheet, but you can go to the successdocuments.com. There's some scripting there. And this is what I do when I'm out meeting people. I say something like, if I happen to bump into somebody at the mall or whatever, and I'm just standing there and just having a conversation with somebody, you inform family, occupation, recreation, and message. I'll say something like, Mary, Bob, Joe. This might sound a little strange, but I'm a recruiter with the New York Stock Exchange Company, and you appear to me to be a pretty sharp individual. I mean, dressed well, you look like you're successful at what you're doing, but could I ask you a question? Sure. Do you know of anyone that would be open to developing a strong secondary income in addition to what they're making at this time? Okay? And our company's expanding. We're looking for a few key people to work with right now. Now they're going to ask, what is it? Okay? Well, I can't go into a whole lot of details right now. I've got to take off. I've got a meeting to get to. However, let me do this. I can give you a business card that has a website where you can get some more information about our expansion. Let me write down my personal number on it. And what's a good number to get back to you? Don't say, hey, give me your number. You're not going to get it. Okay? Say, here's my number. What's a good number to get a hold of you? When you give yours first, they're more likely to give you theirs back. And also, you're going to say, what's a good number to get back to you? And I can call you probably either later today or tomorrow when I get back to my office. Does that sound good? And we'll talk about some business. So when you're calling them, now it's not a friendly conversation, it's a business conversation. All right. How do I prospect? I have no-cost things that I do and cost things that I do. Well, the first thing is get your butt out of your house. You don't have anybody sitting in your house. Okay? Don't go to drive-thru in the fast food. Go in. Go buy something. When you pump in gas at the gas station, You probably have somebody right next to you if you're going to a QT, just talk about their car. Hey, that's a nice car. I thought about getting one of those before I got this one. How do you like it? Start up a conversation. I stick a business card right in front of where they put their credit card in so they have to grab it before they fill the next time up. Okay? Blast off card, not prepaid legal. Okay? Be friendly, put a smile on your face. Be dressed sharp. If you're going to go outside your house, just try to be dressed up a little bit higher level than what you'd normally be just in scrubs and stuff around the house. Be ready to get some. Now, I don't go out with flyer different business cards, but here's my card. I'm always like, gosh, do you have a pen? Maybe you have something to write on, and I'll get them to give me some paper, or I'll go find a little piece of paper or something. Okay? And because, how many people have been flipped, a business card from somebody, you're like, whoa, I don't want that person. They must be doing that to everybody. So if you look like you're not prepared, it's more natural. Now, be deliberate in what you say. Always mention you're going to call them about business. You seem like a sharp person. I'm expanding my company. How about I call you about some business? I'm looking for some people like you. Now, my approach sets a thermostat. If you're talking to people and you're not getting a good response when you call them back, it's because you probably didn't talk to them about business up front. I never give any information detail. I usually don't mention prepaid legal. I usually don't mention identity theft. I just talk about my company's expanding, looking for some key people. And if it works out good, I'll put you in touch with one of my partners. I'm always building up the invite to the information, the third-party information. I'm using form, family, occupation, recreation, and message. And then the key things I say, do you keep your income options open, or are you locked into what you're doing? Or I'll say, do you keep your income options open, or you plan to work here for the rest of your life? Oh, they don't like that one. Okay? You plan to work?
Did you say you got that?
I made that.
Can I have a copy of that?
You got a video camera, a phone with the picture thing on. Somebody take a picture, snap it, and email it to her. Sign on my car. That cost me $40. Sometimes I advertise in the paper. If you've ever had a business, what do you do to recruit people? Put an ad in the paper. You can't recruit as a job. You can only recruit as a business opportunity. Okay, so you have to be very careful about that. Call me and I can help you with that. Advertise on the internet. You can buy leads for as little as $1 a piece, guys. You can have people calling you instead of you trying to go find all the people. Advertise. This is a business, guys. Take some money, put it aside in your advertising budget, and build your business the way a regular business would. Use a building lasting success website. Use business cards. Business cards I found is the cheapest way to get information out to people. All right? And I am done. So we're going to bring Wendy Davis up here in just a second. She is going to be... Wendy, are you starting with this topic?
No, but
Okay.
you can leave it or just blank it out for the moment, please.
Okay.
Or can you put it back on that last page?
Yeah, I'll just put it back there for right now. So anyway, hope it helped you. I will be putting the PowerPoint presentation on our, what's our site that we have? It's the Google Group site. Vidler is a video. We'll have part of this video stuff on there. But all the documents and stuff that we have coming out, they'll be posted on our site, so you can just go there and pull it down.
John, could you email that to one out, because we'll email it out so we can close that out? Would you do me a favor and do that?
Yeah, did you close this?
Yeah, just close that for now,
Okay.
okay? So welcome, guys. Hey, Jonathan, would you do me a favor as quickly as you can? Go fill this up halfway with water. Quick, come on, Jonathan.
Run.
You're thin, you're young, go, 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 go.
Oh.
Okay, so anybody need to get up, come on, get up and stretch for just a minute, come on. Up, up, up. I'm not gonna make you do calisthenics, I promise. Exactly. Just stretch, remember we got coffee, and if you gotta go to the bathroom, we'll do a quick
Set halfway
thing.
down. Drink that halfway.
I gotta go, no, wait, we need half. Just go, just half. Quick.
Told you, John.
What was it?
Okay, everybody come back, get back in your seats, quick. We're really trying to keep this right. We're gonna end right at noon, and we wanna leave a few minutes for questions, so that's why I'm saying quick. We got another great speaker after me. That's perfect. Okay. Can you guys see this glass of water? Everybody see this glass of water?